the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Lots of enthusiasm around that presentation of the Star-Spangled Banner. And we've got plenty more coming up. Stay tuned. Coming to you live on this Tuesday night, it's the NBA on 2K Sports. Hello, everyone, with Chris Webber and Greg Hint. DA, it's all yours.
Well, for Brett,
it sure is. Thanks, David. And for a look at how the competition stacks up right now. These, the new power rankings, they tell a great story. You look at the Pacers. They've achieved some upward momentum, climbing to the 5th spot on the board.
I think for New Orleans, they have just done a magnificent job of building chemistry. Higher on this list than many people expected. One of the great stories thus far.
And the starting lineup for the Pelicans, Ingram the 3 and Zion the 4. Ball and Holiday combine at the guard spots. And it's Favors in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for Washington, Ball runs the point with Beal at the 2. Hachimura and Bryant are in the middle. And it's Brown in at the small forward.
And yeah, for Troy Brown Jr., he didn't have a lot of minutes as a rookie. Management wanted to bring him along slowly and let him learn at his own pace.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Here's Wall. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
He's just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
And the team taking a long-term approach with Brown, as you said.
Yeah, and they should, Kevin. When Brown Jr. did see some time, it was both on the wing and running the offense as a guard. But in high school, he played point guard, and the team see him as an option for spot minutes going forward.
And that one's good by Favors.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you had to bring much faster help than that.
Here's Beal. Oh, and the dunk by Beal.
Oh, I like watching Beal finish with authority. He doesn't mess around when he's knifing his way to the basket.
Ball against Wall. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to be on John Wall.
Well, last season, a tough one for Lonzo Ball. I mean, not only injuries, but the discovery that a trusted friend and manager of the shoe brand is stealing millions. That's a lot to deal with.
That's good from Ball. And with the injuries for Lonzo Ball, the Lakers wondering if his ankle troubles were linked to his shoes.
Oh, yeah, you know, he had to fall out with the brand, but who knows if that was a reason or not. I mean, but Lonzo, though, it seems, now taking more control of his career on and off the court.
Hey, Chris, what do you think is the best way for a coach who has lost a locker room to get it back?
You just got to be honest and open, Kevin. You know, everyone's adults, and if you can't handle the information, then the onus is on that player. But just look at what happened in Minnesota last year. You know, just terrible in the locker room. It's not good for the fans, especially the hometown fans that believe in this young team. And so a lot of times it just comes down to clear, open communication. He is a fantastic athlete for a power forward. Whatever he lacks in height, he makes up for with hops.
And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Washington's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Ball taking his time here. Beal against Holiday. Beal the pass to Brown. Just 5 to shoot. Beal can't get it to go.
Well, you don't see that very often. A wide open 3 is usually like a layup for him.
Out to Favors. Passes it to Holiday. Here's Ball. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday.
And Zoe is feeling it, no question. He only takes these kind of shots when he's in the zone.
Shot, high post. Jump shot is good.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, that's because he's getting his number called early. I mean, he's doing his part to help carry the offensive load.
For 3, Ingram. And again, New Orleans with the triple.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington. A tough loss coming against New York in their last game played.
Yeah, they made some spectacular plays in it right to the very end. Just couldn't get over the hump.
Yeah, and sometimes it just comes down to a couple of critical plays which you need to execute in close, ugly games.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Mo Wagner's checked in for Bryant. Davis Bertans comes in for Hachimura. Smith checked in for Brown. And Shabazz Napier subbed in for John Wall. Here's Napier. Can't hit that one. So the Pelicans will take it the other way. They come into this having outplayed Phoenix the last game.
And the bench turned up in that one. Whatever they couldn't get from their starters, they got from the reserves.
And when the bench steps up, it takes pressure off the starters. And they stepped up big in that game.
And stolen by Redick. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock.
Excellent all-around performance so far, hence the big lead.
Yeah, Greg, they've come out of the gate strong at both ends of the floor. Just in total control so far.
Beal with it. He's coming off a 10-point game against New York. Knocks it loose. Here's Hart. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. Pelicans lead by 14. They'll be back shortly, live from Washington. One of the most dangerous scorers in the game, Bradley Beal spoke about the trust Coach Scott Brooks has in him and his team.
I think the biggest thing is he's still young, so, he tries to think.
Ellen Beal trying to grow as a leader and a star. Has to love that.
Yeah, and Brooks known for developing good relationships with his players. He pushes them, but he gives them a lot of praise as well.
And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in a second. And the Pelicans have been rolling right along, haven't they?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Old school approach. I mean, if you have a favorable matchup this side, just keep pounding it in there.
Shabazz Napier out there with Smith. Then there's Bradley Beal. Then there's Davis Bertans. And it's Wagner in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Wizards.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
And how about then not settling? I mean, instead of being lazy with the shot selection, they go right to the rim.
And the EuroLeague's top scorer last season, Nicolo Melli, had turned down some NBA offers in the past, decides to make the leap to join the Pelicans, and gives them a highly skilled player in that front court.
Napier feeling it out a bit. Pass to Beal. Pelicans with the rebound. They'll be off to Charlotte for a game against the Hornets. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. And Redick kicks to Hart. Off target from outside. Wizards trail by 16. The 19-foot shot. They get it back. Bertans' shot is good.
Straight up effort gets him those points. That's what it's all about on the offensive glass.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans.
Man, last season was such a tough one for the Wizards. I mean, they lost John Wall to injury midway through. They ended up 11th in the East and out of the playoffs.
Looking at who's out there now for the Wizards. Mahinmi's checked in for Wagner. Hachimura comes in for Beal. Troy Brown's checked in for Smith. And John Wall's subbed in for Shabazz Napier. Wall's shot is good. For so long, C-Webb, the Wizards were looking to get past that second round in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, Kevin, now they might have to recalibrate their team for that. I mean, their team has some glaring holes that a quick fix just can't help. They will need to build from the ground up to get back on track.
6 to shoot. The shot by Redick, no good. And it's Wall with the ball for the Wizards. Down by 12. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Wall. A chance now to check out how the All-Star voting is shaping up.
And I tell you, the excitement starting to ratchet up a little bit as the tallies start coming in.
Look at Wall. He's there in the top 10 in the Eastern Conference voting. The fans have really gotten behind him.
And that's the way it should be. I mean, you could make a case that he should be a starter, but there's just so many great players in the East. Just being in the top 10 shows how much respect the fans have for him.
And keep tuning in for updated results. You can visit NBA.com for more. Here's Mahimi. And it's Wall in the corner. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And John Wall, of course, having to fight back from that torn Achilles, but also is now having to play up to that super max contract he signed.
And with Wall, no doubt he's a star guard. But with that contract, Greg, comes heavy expectations.
No doubt. And I'd like to see Wall become more proactive, really as a playmaker on offense in the near future. Depending on how he feels after the injuries, he might need to change his style just a bit.
Wizards making a switch here. Ryan's checked in. A whole new cast of characters for the Pelicans. 3 promising first-round picks, Greg, and the young players acquired from the Lakers and veterans like Favors and Reddick.
All of a sudden, a wealth of options for Alvin Gentry. Time will tell how they did in the AD trade, but seems like they're off to a nice start.
Last season, it just seemed as Brandon Ingram hit his stride just as the shoulder issue ended his season. I mean, look at his numbers down the stretch. He was finding his confidence.
Pelicans shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
And their free throw percentage as a unit last year, 76%, right around the middle of the road.
And that one falls for Ingram.
Well, think about the high ceiling that this kid, Brandon Ingram, has. I mean, with his long arms, I mean, he could reach the rafters.
Derek Favors checked in for Okafor, and he can't hit the second. Wizards trail by 14. The Wizards have converted 1 of 2 free throws so far today.
John Wall.
And that one falls for John Wall.
Well, finally, he's getting himself to the line. He's gotten much more aggressive as the game is going on.
No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
It's good from long range.
3-point range from his days at Duke. Ingram shoots with range.
Holiday against Wall. And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. And again, Washington no good.
He's forcing things a little bit in this quarter, settling for shots that he'd be better off passing up.
Shoots from 14. Count that bucket. Williamson's got his 2nd bucket of the game to go.
I mean, hey, they're going to give Williamson this shot because they don't want him to get close to the rim.
From deep. And the last second attempt doesn't fall. And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans holding a big 18-point lead to close the quarter. And we'll see if they can keep up their tremendous shooting they've been dialed in so far. Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the 3rd quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
After 1 half of play, it's been a one-sided. The first half was all about Brandon Ingram. He had 12 points and 1 assist. Some great work from him in the first 2 quarters. And that's all we have for now.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. Brandon Ingram has been sensational.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And as they can't slow him down, you know what you do? Keep feeding them and feeding them and feeding them. This is the right game plan.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. So the Pelican 5 right now. Wall and Holiday combine at the guard spots. Zion is the 4 with Favors at the 5. And it's Ingram in at the 3, the small forward.
And you look at Lonzo Ball, certainly high expectations for this young man. 1 and done at UCLA. How about 2nd overall pick That's brought some undue pressure.
Wall draws the double. Bryant dishes the Wall. Here's Hachimura. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Greg, you talk about the hype for Lonzo Ball and the pressure. Do you think that creates an additional challenge for a young player?
Yeah, he's scuffled at times, but I think the future remains very bright for that young man.
Here's Williamson. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. Knocked loose. And that one drops. Williamson's got 6 points.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Bryant looking over the floor. Here's Hachimura. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Here's Holiday. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Holiday's got his first points in this one.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Washington calls timeout. Just when you look around the NBA, which player most emulates the style and approach that you had, and you were special. But so you've got to have a very special category for this one, I'm sure.
Well, thanks, Ken. That's flattering. I like to be in the categories with these guys because I'm such fans of them. But Blake Griffin, when I think about him, and also Joel Embiid, the fact that Embiid can shoot out on the floor, he can space up, but in the post, he likes to go to work as well. I just think he gives you such a mix of offensive moves that you can't stop, that as a defender, you're always worried and on guard and looking over your shoulder because you don't know what he's going to hit you with because he has so many options.
But in my mind, there's only one Chris Webber.
No, thanks, man.
Hart, that's good.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Wizards trail by 21. Napier passes to Beal. Back to Napier. The lead pass was put in just the right spot.
Nice and steady so far in the second half. They're 3 for 4.
The pass to Hart. That falls. Nice feed that time from Ball. Ball's got 3 assists now in this one. For Washington, they've gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. And the call will be against Lonzo Ball. That'll be his second foul of the game.
That's his second personal foul.
Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. New Orleans leading by 21.
And a new regime in Washington as they have moved on from the previous GM. A lot to do here.
Yeah, G, and it's not an ideal cap situation to work with. Fans are excited to see what can be done. They need to land a few big free agents. It hasn't happened for the Wizards in a while.
And another name included in that Anthony Davis trade, Brandon Ingram. Still a lot to like about his game.
Pairs up well with what the Pelicans are trying to do. Perhaps the biggest asset coming over to New Orleans could flourish in this system.
Pass to Hart. And down it goes. Dunked through off a wonderful assist.
And this is how you want to come out of the half. Prolific and efficient.
Just a dream scenario for them so far. Their offense looking like a well-oiled machine.
Wagner passes to Beal. Shoots over Ingram. Beal can't get it to go. New Orleans gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the 3-ball here. And Ingram with the basket on the assist by Ball. Ball's got 4 assists now tonight. And Napier will bring it up for Washington. They'll be playing host to Miami for the next game. And that game concludes a 5-game homestand. Here's Pertinis. The Wizards with another miss.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Hart, and he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Well-rounded effort, and they show no signs of letting up.
Yeah, and it hasn't just been the offensive output. They're putting in the work at the defensive end as well.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock, and we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there.
It'll be a jump ball.
And so it's New Orleans with it. The Pelicans have gone 7 of 9 from the field to start this second half. Some tremendous shooting from them.
And their balanced effort at both ends has hushed this crowd.
No, because it's gone dead silent in this arena. What a fantastic performance here on the road.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Able to keep his balance even while getting hit. I mean, ball absorbs contact very well.
Here's Beal. Solid as a rock from 20 feet away. Beal's got 9 points. And so it's New Orleans, leading by a full 31 points at the end of the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
No, it's quick decision making. You see a guy open, you can't hesitate. That's an outstanding play right there.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. We've got Pasekniks. Ish Smith is out there with Peyton. Then there's Ian Mahimi. And it's Bonga in at the 3 spot. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington. Here's Mahimi. Makes it off the glass.
Now that's where you like your shots to come from.
The Pelicans shooting a magnificent 69% in this game. And Okafor slams it in.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Peyton outside. See, Webb, the NBA always trying to improve every aspect of the game, and that includes officiating.
Yeah, and it should include officiating, one of the most important parts of the game, and one of the toughest jobs within the business of basketball. I mean, these guys are making calls on the fly without the advantage of the camera at home that we have watching through the screen, or without the advantage of slow motion technology. So first of all, kudos to the refs that go out and give it their best every day. We have the best refs in any of sports, I believe, and we still need to improve on that. The league recognizes that, and I love the fact that everybody's doing it together.
Here's Wall, and the slam dunk by Wall.
You see that right there? That's the intelligence of Wall. He knows where to run and when a fast break opportunity presents itself.
And it's more penetrating and stolen by Peyton. Here's the break. And Wall with the slam.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
Yeah, going defense to offense in an instant. Every team now calibrated to do that.
And Hart has it in the corner. Count the basket.
Oh, man, a solid score. You give Hart shots like these, he's ready to capitalize.
And here is Peyton. Passes it to Mahimi. That's good. And it's Peyton with the assist. Mahimi's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Oh, the timing couldn't have been better on that assist.
Kicks it to Moore. And he drops it in from the low post. 1:52 left to play here in the fourth. Floor spacing, Chris, now so big in the NBA. And big men have the room to put up some unbelievable numbers.
Oh, man, look at Lopez out there in Bucks land. I mean, look what he's doing in Milwaukee, just shooting threes from deep. The same, you got to go to Embiid for Porzingis. And we already seen what the great Dirk Nowitzki has done through his career spacing the floor. Look, it adds time onto your career because you don't have to just go down there and bang and be one-dimensional in the paint. It makes your teammates better because now you're spacing the floor, which gives them room to drive. And if you're really working on your game, you can really make your teammates better because now you have more passing lanes because you're further away from the basket. So as any post player knows, it's a blessing to be surrounded by great shooters, and now big men, they got a little more room out there.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will, and you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Pelicans.
this was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important. Here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season. And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Lonzo Ball.
He was the alpha dog out there tonight. Totally in charge of this game. No matter what the situation was, he was the one to dictate the action.
Here's Bryant. And it's Ingram with the rebound. So Favors will bring it up for New Orleans. And there's Williamson on the assist from Favors.
And credit the whole team. It was a focused, concerted effort to put this one away.
Yeah, I love how they play for one another out there. No signs of selfishness. Just a total team effort. Oh, he's been as dependable as he always is. He can't do it all by himself.
And they came in determined to take this one. It's going to be a happy flight home.
Yeah, there's no doubt as to who was the better team. I mean, they proved it with this win.
Here's Wall. Derek Favors with the rebound. Here's Williamson. Another one falls for New Orleans.
I can't think of a better call offensively. Get Zion the ball in the painted area and let him go to work.
So we see the Pelicans taking the W here. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge.